Okay, let's dive right in. There is a revolution happening right now in writing, in content, in marketing, and AI is at the heart of it all. So what does this massive shift actually mean for us? For the people who, create with words for a living?
I mean, just look at this number. HubSpot's beta says 73% of marketers are already using AI for content. Now, to give you some perspective, that's tripled since just 2023. Think about that. This isn't some slow-moving trend. This is a rocket ship. It's a huge, lightning-fast change for the entire industry. And of course, a change this big brings up the one question everyone's asking. What's the deal? Is AI the job killer we're all afraid of? The thing that's here to make writers obsolete? Or is it a total game changer, something that unlocks a whole new level of creativity? There's a lot of noise, so let's cut through it, break down the myths, and see what the numbers really tell us.
Okay, let's tackle myth number one, the big one. The one that probably keeps a lot of creatives up at night. It's this idea that, boom, human writers are about to be replaced by a machine that can do their job in a split second.
You know the feeling, right? It's that classic anxiety of staring at a blank page, the blinking cursor just mocking you. Well, imagine now you're not just fighting your own writer's block. You're up against a tool that never has writer's block, a tool that can spit out thousands of words in the time it takes you to make a cup of coffee. Yeah, that's the fear right there.
But here's the thing. When you actually look at the reality of it, the evidence tells a totally different story. AI isn't really an outright replacement. It's more like a complete shakeup of the entire writing workflow. The job isn't going away, it's just changing big time.
And this really shows you what that change looks like. On the one hand, you've got the old way, right? A huge piece of your time, like 35%, is just spent staring at the wall, trying to come up with ideas. Another big chunk is research. But now, look at the new way, the AI-assisted way. That staring at the wall time, it basically vanishes. Drafting gets slashed. And where does all that time go? It gets poured into the most important part, refining, editing, and adding your unique human insight. We're talking a complete flip from grunt work to brain work. And this quote from Zach Chamel just nails it. Instead of being a typist who occasionally has good ideas, I became an editor-strategist who occasionally types. That's it, right there. It perfectly captures that shift. You stop being just a word producer and you become a strategist, an editor, a thinker. Your job literally becomes more valuable.
And look, this isn't just a feeling people have. This is backed up by some serious data from MIT. Their research found that using AI slashes the time you spend on a rough draft by more than half. And the time you spend on editing, the part where you add your personality and your critical eye, that more than doubles. It's a perfect partnership. The machine does the heavy lifting and the human provides the soul.
All right, so let's move on to the second big myth, the quality issue. This is the fear that the internet's about to be flooded with, well, junk. Generic, robotic, soulless content where everything sounds exactly the same. The content apocalypse, right?
And come on, let's be real. We've all seen it. That AI text that's just meh. It's grammatically perfect, sure, but it has zero personality. It's totally flat. And the worry is that this becomes the standard, that we're all just going to be buried under a mountain of boring, forgettable stuff.
But once again, what the data actually shows is pretty much the opposite, and it's kind of surprising. When you use AI as a tool, not as some push-button solution, something amazing happens. It doesn't just make you faster, it can actually make the finished product better, like measurably better.
Check this out. That big MIT study we mentioned, it found that professionals using ChatGPT were not only 37% faster, which is huge by the way, but the quality of what they produced went up. Independent experts graded it, and it was significantly better. So you're getting faster and better at the same time. That's a wild combination.
But here's the part that really blew my mind. Who do you think saw the biggest improvement? It wasn't the top writers. It was actually the less experienced workers. AI acted like this incredible equalizer, lifting up the people who needed it most and closing that performance gap across the whole team. And all of this really points to one thing, the hybrid model. That's the magic formula. When you have a human guiding the AI, refining its output, the results aren't just slightly better. They are way, way better. We're talking 2.4 times better SEO performance than pure AI content. So it's not human versus machine. It's human times machine. That's the winning combo.
Okay, so what does this all add up to? What's the new game plan? Well, it means we're looking at a brand new way of working. The question isn't, should I use AI anymore? The answer is just, yes, you have to. The real question, the important one, is
How are you going to master this new partnership? And the modern workflow, it's not about just one tool. It's more like a whole toolkit, a stack of specialized AIs for different jobs. You might start with something like Perplexity for your research, getting real cited sources. Then you hop over to ChatGPT or Claude to get a solid first draft down. After that, you're using a tool like Surfer SEO to make sure it's optimized. And you're not done. Finally, you use another tool to chop up that one blog post into 20 different social media posts. It's a whole system.
And that really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? At the end of the day, AI is a phenomenal assistant. It's unbelievably fast at research, at outlining, at just getting words on the page. But the stuff that actually matters, judgment, strategy, knowing your audience inside and out, that spark of real creativity, that's all still on you. That's the human part, and it's more important than ever.
So, where do we land? The big challenge for all of us isn't about fighting AI. It's about using it smartly. It's about figuring out how to use these amazing tools, not to sound like a robot, but to free yourself up to be more human. To focus on the stuff that makes you unique, your voice, your ideas, your point of view. So the final question really is, how are you going to use the machine to become more distinctly you?